This place feels familiar. Not the buildings, the weight. Cities like this don't sleep because they're afraid of what they'll remember if they stop moving. Where I come from, we were taught that grief either sharpens you or erases you. I watched an entire clan disappear in one night. Not in battle, not in chaos, but deliberately. Room by room, face by face. I was left alive, not out of mercy, but intent, so that every step I took afterward would be driven by the same memory. Hatred became my inheritance. Strength became my only language. You stand the way someone does when they've buried something so deep it became the foundation they live on. That kind of loss doesn't fade. It organizes you.
I was a child when it happened, old enough to understand fear, too young to understand meaning. One moment, my parents were everything: safety, warmth, certainty. The next, they were bodies on cold pavement, and the world revealed itself as something careless and cruel. People like to imagine that trauma arrives with clarity, that you know immediately what it will turn you into. That isn't true. At first, there's just noise, guilt, questions that have no answers, and the slow, terrifying realization that the world will keep moving, whether you're ready or not. I didn't choose vengeance that night. I chose memory. Because if I forgot, if I allowed that alley to fade, then it would happen again, to someone else, somewhere else. So I made myself a reminder.
You turned your pain outward. I turned mine inward until it hollowed me out. For years, I believed that killing my brother would restore balance, that ending his life would give meaning to everyone else's death. Every sacrifice I made felt justified, because I told myself it was temporary. That once revenge was complete, I could finally stop being angry. But anger doesn't wait patiently. It grows. It learns your habits. It starts answering questions you never meant to ask. When I finally stood at the center of what I'd been chasing, I realized I had shaped my entire identity around a moment that was already gone. Hatred gave me direction, but no destination.
That's the lie trauma tells us, that if we follow it far enough, it will eventually let us rest. I've spent my life standing one step away from the line you crossed. Not because I don't understand the urge, but because I do. Every criminal I face reminds me how easy it would be to justify ending things permanently. How simple it would be to tell myself that fear works faster than hope. But if I become judge, jury, and executioner, then the alley wins. The gun wins. And my parents' deaths become just another excuse in a city full of them. I don't fight crime because I believe Gotham can be perfect. I fight because someone has to prove that suffering doesn't get the final word.
In my world, mercy is considered a weakness, a luxury afforded only to those who have never been truly hurt. I believed that for a long time. But I met someone who refused to give up on me. Someone who saw what I was becoming and chose to stand in front of it anyway. He reminded me that bonds aren't chains, they're anchors. That losing everything doesn't mean you're meant to destroy what remains. I still carry the past with me. I still hear their voices. But I no longer let them decide who I am allowed to be. That choice, it's harder than hatred ever was.
It always is. Pain is simple. Purpose takes work. Every night I walk into darkness knowing it will never truly disappear. But I also know this. As long as I'm here, it ends with me. No more children standing over bodies asking why the world chose them. No more nights where grief feels like destiny. We don't get to erase what was taken from us, but we do get to decide what it turns us into. That decision, repeated endlessly, is what separates survivors from victims.
Then perhaps we are still walking the same road, just from different directions.
Perhaps. What matters is that neither of us stopped.
Take care of your city, Batman.
And you keep choosing.